Alright, cool. So let's see how you guys did with this triangle lesson, the first real lesson of new geometry for some of you. So in the picture, we're looking for the top angle, and we know that one of them's 60, one of them's 75, and the other one is a question mark. And they all three have to add up to 180. So the way that I was doing it here is we just need to subtract these other two from 180, and that will leave the third behind. So 180 minus 60, and also minus the 75. And that's going to give me 45 degrees, so hopefully you got 45, okay? Number 2, same kind of a deal. I know the picture shows me a 90-degree angle and a 60-degree angle, and it asks for the third. So we're going to do 90 plus 60 plus the question mark equals 180. So same thing, we're going to take 180, subtract the 90, and that's 90. Subtract the 60, and that leaves 30. Okay? Number 3, we start to step it up. It says to solve for x. It actually doesn't need the entire angle, it just wants x. So it shows me a 90-degree angle, it shows me a 55-degree angle, and it shows me the missing mess in the corner, and all of that has to equal 180 degrees, okay? So what do? Well, I just solve like normal. So 90 plus 55, that would be 145, plus 2 is 147, plus 3x equals 180. I'm just doing algebra to simplify, okay? I need to subtract 147 from both sides. 180 minus 147, 180 minus 147, and that should be 33. And then divide both sides by 3, so x is 11. And it just wanted x, so I get to stop there, okay? Number 4, same deal. It just wants x. It gives me a 60, it gives me a 70, and then it gives me the top, which is ugly. But all of them have to equal 180 because that's the law of triangles. So let's put all of these together. So 130 plus 56 would be 186 plus x equals 180. Okay, this is interesting. Minus 186 minus 186, and it's going to be x is negative 6. Okay, well, I guess that's fine because it just said to find x, which means it needs to be a negative number so that whenever you plug it back into your picture, it's a triangle that actually works out. So there's my answer. All right, number 5. Find the measure of angle A. So now it just, we're going to have to find that x, guys, but then we're going to have to go back in and plug it in to find the entire angle. And it looks hard, but it won't be too bad. Let's just start in the bottom corner. 5x minus 9 plus the next corner plus the top. So all three of these angles have to equal 180. And now let's do some algebra. Let's put all of our x's together. That would be these two. Now let's put our numbers together. I've got a negative 9, a positive 80, and a positive 10. That should be 81 when you add those three together. Now to solve for x, I'm going to subtract 81, and that looks like a 99. And then divide by 9. Okay, so x equals 11. Now you do not stop here because it said to find angle A. Now angle A, if you look at the picture, it's at the top, and it's the one that's labeled 4x plus 10, okay? So I need to take my x and plug it in there. So 4 times 11 is 44, 44 plus 10 is 54 degrees. That's what it wants you to do, is to do all that plugging in so that you can find the final answer on that. Number 6. All right, same thing. It wants angle A, but it labels everybody. So 2x plus 132 plus 2x equals 180. Hey, what kind of triangle is this? I know it didn't ask you, but what kind of triangle would that be? Well, it's got two matching angles, so just as a side note, this is an isosceles triangle, okay? All right, what do? Let's put our x's together. Then let's solve. So let's subtract the 132, and we'll get 4x equals, okay, that would be an 8, 7, is that a 48? Okay. Then I divide by 4, divide by 4. So I'm getting x is 12, but it wants angle A. And angle A is labeled as 2x, which means that I need to plug that 12 in. So 2 times 12. So I'm getting 24 degrees. Excellent. Hopefully that's not too bad. Number 7. Classify each triangle by its angles and sides. Okay. So this is just like, I wanted you to try this without your notes, I guess, is to see if you could recognize from the picture what it is. And in 7, everything is equal. So I'm hoping that you just called that an equilateral triangle, okay? The other thing you could have said was an equilateral, or you could have called it acute, because all equilateral triangles are also acute. So I'm going to label every single one of these by their sides and by their angles, okay? Just for extra practice. Now on 8, nothing is labeled equal. So if nothing is equal, this is definitely scalene, because even if they look the same, they need to have the marks. So 8 is scalene, and if you look at those angles, all of them look less than 90, so it's a scalene acute triangle. Number 9. Okay, nothing is labeled, so once again it's scalene because no sides are the same. And if you look at those angles, it looks like the bottom right-hand corner is big. So I'm going to call this a scalene obtuse triangle, or obtuse scalene. Either way you say it's okay, but that's what I would call that. And then number 10, I've got a lot going on. I've got a right angle, which automatically makes this a right triangle. And I've got 2 sides marked. So 2 sides marked makes it isosceles. And since there's a right angle, it is definitely a right triangle. So isosceles right triangle is what we would call number 10. All right, cool. So that's a good warm-up into triangles and geometry. Next week is also going to be about triangles, but gets a little more specific, a little trickier on the algebra. But in tutorials this week, we can totally make some more of these fun things up and have you creating things. So, yay! We will see you next time.